Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to Black Roar's Rebirth, Dreadforge Part 2. If you haven't checked out Part 1, we went over our brand new mage, Enka, as well as the Forge School deck, our evocation cards, our new upgrade, our new equipment cards. In Part 2 here, we are going to go over Enka as the avatar, so you just fight against him. So just see what he all does with that. So let's first of all look at his card here. So yeah, this is where we'll use the exact same miniature we had in the other one. We'll just have the extra avatar base. And I think part of the reason why they also included these in here was in case you did not own Black Rose Wars Rebirth and you only own the original one. They don't have any of these in there, but you can still use these bases with them, and you could add them into that mode, or into the original game. Alright, so we have Enka. He has 12 health, 3 attack, 2 movement. He has Engraved Glyphs, Divine Fatigue, and Reborn, special keywords. And it says, he has a little circle option. It says, move towards target room. Perform a damage targeting 0 space. Obtain a special card, not owned by a mage. It's a token. Not owned by a mage from 0 space away. And then he has the special activations. So yeah, we can go ahead and just look at what his stuff does. So we're not trying to figure out what some of these are. But let's go ahead and look at some of the rules quick. Enka is the right-hand man of Vesuvio, the king of the Cyclopses. Appointed as the great blacksmith of the forge by his lord, he now lives devoting himself to the creation of magnificent tools. Enka has found Magma, a faithful servant, who, as such, follows him through all his endeavors. Vesuvio is giving Enka the task of becoming Grand Magister of the Lodge. He also wants to control the magical aspects that whisper to the world, giving more power to his people. So we have the Avatar effect. The indicated effect by the circle symbol there on the Avatar card must resolve one of the effect on a command card shows the symbol. So, yeah, when we get to our command cards, we might have something on there that pops up, like this one. It says, do 1, then activate that ability. So we get something like that. Avatar tool. The Avatar tool uses the indicated effect with the symbol. English tools are the glyph tokens. So different avatars will have different avatar tools and different tokens they'll use, and it might represent something different for every avatar. Then finally, the avatar skill. Each has it explained on page 10. So how to set them up. When used as an avatar, Enka cannot be chosen as a mage during setup. Do the following steps. Place the forge room so that it is adjacent to the Black Rose room. Equip the large base to Enka. Enters the forge. Equip the large base avocation to the magma model. The large base I don't think we have one big enough for him. The large evocation base to the magma room. This is magma. Don't think we have a base big enough for him. Place the evocation card on slot 1 of the on the avatar board. Place glyph tokens in the room adjacent to the black rooms. Remove the lava flow forgotten spell, so you can't summon him. So it has different rules. It has activated glyphs and exhausted glyphs. So we have a little stack here of 6 different glyphs. And then the opposite side just shows them not lit up. Glyph tokens. The glyph tokens of the Lodge can be collected by mages to exploit their devastating energy. During the game, Enka will try to collect engraved glyphs to enhance his evocation magma. Glyph tokens follow the following rules. Collect. When a mage activates a room in which there's at least 1 glyph, that mage is in the room, they obtain the glyph token from their room, not from a mage card, and place it on their mage card or avatar card for Enka. So it's whoever activates it. Showing the active side of the image. The glyph token is on the mage card since it's going to be in the same room as that mage. Defeat. When a mage, including Enka, defeats another mage who has at least 1 glyph on their card, you must take one of those tokens and place it on the mage card while keeping its current side visible. If defeated mage still has glyphs on their cards, they must be placed in the room which they're defeated. Attack. A mage who possesses at least 1 glyph token on their magic card can use a Mystic Strike physical attack. Physical action. And then cleanup phase during step 2. Start the player as a crown proceeding clockwise. Each mage places all glyph tokens they have in the room in which they're in. Mages gain 2 points for each glyph token placed this way. So basically, during your turn, you can pick up a thing by activating a room. Then you can use it during your turn if you like to. If not, you can hang on to it. You can at least gain 2 points. So physical Mystic Strike physical action. Exhaust all active glyph tokens on your mage card and perform a physical attack on a model 0 space away, +1 for each glyph token you have. Move your mage up to 1. So cool. So basically, you collect a bunch during your turn. You can do basically a super powered attack. But at the end of the turn, they all go away, and you have to try and recollect them. Alright, avatar skills. So he has on his card, we saw there's a couple of skills there. I wish they would have done is put them like on the back so you could flip them over and see them quick. But he has Reborn. He begins activation in his cell before revealing the command card. He places himself in the forge. So this is the same where he starts. Engraved glyphs. At the end of his own activation, is in the same room as a magma. All glyph tokens on his mage card must be placed on the event board in the Black Rose trophy slot. These glyph tokens are considered to be in the lodge. Ooh, interesting. So if he ends with magma, he basically can power up magma and you don't get access to him. In Divine Fatigue, if there are 6 glyph tokens on the event board, the Black Rose immediately wins the game. If this does not happen at the end of the game, he gains 1 for each glyph token. Oh crap, so you have to race for him to get them. Interesting. Then he has his 2 priorities. He has 1 and 2. So if we get that, it's going to tell him what he's going to do. Again, that's really kind of neat to have on the extra card somewhere. So it says, choose a target. Chooses as a target. So the room with the most gears in it, or clues, if tied, the closest room, if tied, the room with the fewest mages. So he's going to try and go towards rooms with the tools in them. Otherwise, he's going to try to move with the most mages, then with the most instability, and then if he does, just want the most models in general. So one's basically trying to hunt down people to beat the crap out of them. The other one is trying to hunt down glyphs. Pretty cool. So that's what we have for his stuff. We have his deck yet we have to look at. Then we also have the Magma Construct Servants. This is his special evocation card. So this will be our big giant magma miniature. So it was Ignis in the original, if he's a forgotten spell, but he becomes magma when you play as him. So servants are kind of special. There's a construct and a servant. He has priority and comeback. Magma has +1 attack for each glyph on the event board, or avatar tool. But when it performs an attack, it targets space 0. After it performs an attack, inflict 1 damage to each mage, one mage away from the target. And it says he's going to target a mage, in order of he's going to target whoever has the most glyphs, then whoever has the most damage, followed up by whoever has the most health. He has 2 move, 2 attack, 5 health. Alright, Servant is an evocation as a special bond with the avatar. Magma is a servant and is represented in the lodge by the corresponding model and a servant evocation card. The servant evocation is never discarded from the slot, even if Magma is defeated or removed. Special rules priority. Follows the priority on the servant evocation cards to the box to choose which target and it moves closer to. And then comeback, if Magma has to activate when its model is not in the lodge, previously defeated or removed. Magma does not activate, and the rose places 1 rose on the model in the Black Rose room. So has to activate when it's not in the lodge. Magma does not activate, and the rose places its model. Okay, so if it needs to activate, it just comes back. So it's priority. It's going to target the mage with the most tools, the mage with the most damage, and then if they tie the mage with the most health. Other than Magma cannot reach its target, it moves close as possible. If there are no mages in the lodge and Magma activates, it does not move, and it ends its activation. So what's also interesting about this is because I love the fact that they use the tool on there instead of saying glyphs, and they didn't have a special symbol for glyphs. So that means potentially you could team him up with other avatars. He could be a servant of a different avatar if they have glyphs. If they don't have glyphs, he's just not going to gain that extra bonus, right? But you can still technically throw him in with any other servant. So if you don't want to fight against Inca and have to hunt down the glyphs, the glyph tools, you can play him as the possessed avatar, and he could jump in and help him out. Just does extra damage. He's going to run around the board doing some extra damage, which is pretty nasty in itself. So those are all of our things there. Yeah, one large mage base, one large avatar base. That's so weird, it says. Equip the large avatar base to the Enka model. Yes. Equip the avatar's large evocation base to the magma model. It doesn't work. I'll have to look that up later, figure out what happened there. Alright, so then we have a couple other things. We have his command deck. So when Inca goes to attack, he'll have his command deck he'll use. So we'll go ahead and look at those cards. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on these. So these are basically their actions they're going to take during his turn. So he has Hatred, so he draws this, and just like any other type of thing, we have the different crescent moons on there. Crescent, half moon, full moon, so as the phases change, he gets a different set of cards. But he'll do these in order, so he'll try and do a physical action, and then he'll play a spell card, magic card, so it activates AI just like you would if you were playing as him. If he has at least one tool, moves towards magma, otherwise he does action 1 on his card. So he does action 1, and then he activates his ability. Then he plays a spell, he does 2, he summons a Pupa, also assigns a random upgrade to it and activates it, and he gets to play another card. So, Ballistic Blow, so this is a spell card that has an instability. So he does 2, summons a Pupa, assigns a random upgrade to it. The Pupa of the Rose activates, another Pupa of the Rose activates. So yeah, when these guys get summoned, then now they're theirs. If he has at least one tool, he moves towards magma, otherwise 1 and his ability. Lava Puddle, 1 and ability. Magma activates, a Pupa of the Rose activates. And it does specify that in case you are playing with the Forge deck, or something else that summons a Construct, because you can summon these guys as well. And then his spell says 1, and then activate the target room without generating an effect. If he does, draws and solves 1 quest of the current moon and obtains 1 glyph from target room. Flow of debris. Each evocation from the target within 1 space from the target with the health value of 3 or less is removed. Inflicts 1 damage to each mage from the target. Or he has a defensive spell, and on the back they'll have like a little defensive picture, shows if he takes damage. Show how that triggers. Mage target, any mage targets the mages and inflict the damage and inflicts 3 damage to them. We have geysers. If he has at least 1 tool, moves towards magma, otherwise 1 and activate. And his spell is 2, place 2 instability, and puts 1 damage for each instability not placed due to this effect. And then draws a card. Volcanic Bomb, 1 activate, special, magma activates, Pupa activates. Then he gets to play a spell, target the room magma is in, places 2 instability, inflicts 2 damage. And then he has a protection spell, targets the mage which inflicts the damage, ignores 2 on himself, and then inflicts 2. Molten Rocks. If he has at least 1 tool, moves towards magma, 1 other. It's a very common one he has. His spell is 2, summons a Pupa. Assign a random upgrade to it, and magma activates. And then his defense, target mages cast a attack spell or combat spell, steal 1 rose. Sulfuric Cloud. Does 2, places 2 instability, converts 1 damage for each instability not placed due to this effect. Inflicts damage. So basically, if he's going to run out of things to place, he does extra stuff. Targets a mage for protection. The cast that combat spell converts 2 of their damage. Field Study. If he has at least 1 tool, moves towards magma, otherwise 1 and activate his spell. 1, activate target room without generating any effects. If he does, it draws himself 1 quest of the current moon and obtains 1 tool from the target room. And then we have Volcano's Heat. If he has at least 1 tool, moves towards magma, 1, activate. If he has at least 1 tool on the event board, he gains 1 rose. For each other mage that has at least 1, loses 1, and magma activates. Awesome. Then we have the Half Moon, Phase 2. He's going to get Rage. So that's the top build. I'm going to just stop reading that one because it's the same every time. His spell, though, summons a pupa, assigns a random upgrade, activate it, draw a card. Give orders. Pay 2, summon it, or do action 2. Summon a pupa, assign it, random upgrade. Pupa of the Rose activates, another pupa activates, and magma activates. Dang. If he has at least 1 tool, he does that. Okay, cool. Goes on the bottom then. There, magma activates and a pupa activates. Activate target room without generating any effect. If he does so, draw a quest, obtain a tool. So a lot of these are the same type of thing over and over. Or very similar. Wall of Fire. Each evocation, 1 space from the target with a health bar of 3 less is removed, with 2 damage to each mage from one of that target. Protection target mage can inflict the damage and inflict 4. Stream Blast. Just to move towards magma. And then it says 2, place 3 instability, inflict 1 damage for each one not placed, and then draw another card. Deflagration. 1, ability activate magma and activate 2 pupa. Spell is targets room with magma, places 3 instability and inflicts 3 damage. Protection, mage at target inflicts damage, ignore 3 on himself and deals 2. Meltdown. Move towards magma. 2, summon a pupa. Assign a random upgrade to it. Magma activates. In protection, target spell that has a combat spell steals a rose. Cinder Veil. 2, place 3 instability. Convert 1 for each one not and inflict 2 damage. Protection, mage that casts a combat spell converts 2 damage. Buried Knowledge. Move towards magma. 1, activate without generating effect. Get a quest for a tool. And then we have Havoc. Move towards magma. If there are at least 2 tools on the event board, gain 1 rose. Each other mage has 1, loses a point, and then activates. And then finally here we'll have the Phase 3, the Full Moons. We have Punishment. Move towards magma. 2, summon a pupa, assign a random upgrade, activates. Yeah, watch, they're just the same effects, just like Part A and Part B are different, so they call them different names. Fatal Quake lets you summon a pupa, assign a random upgrade. The pupa of the Rose activates, another activates, magma activates. Otherwise, you can move towards magma. Old Ways. Magma activates, pupa activates. The spell lets you activate a room and solve a quest and gain a tool. Unbeatable Defense. Evocation 3 less is removed and puts 3 damage to surrounding characters, mages. Mage inflicts damage and puts 4 back to them. Intoxication. Moves towards magma. Spell lets you place 4 instability, puts damage for each one not placed. Deadly Lapius. Magma activates pupa and pupa activate. Target room magma is aimed, place 3 instability and inflict 3 damage, or ignore damage and inflict 2. Lava Cone. Move towards magma. Spell, summon a pupa, assign an upgrade, magma activates, and this one's different. Target a mage, spell, cast a combat spell, obtains 1 trophy of the target. Fumarole. Place 4 instability, convert 1, inflict 3 damage. Target mage, which has combat spell, convert 3 health or damage. False Drifting, move towards magma. Activate, draw a quest, obtain a tool. And then the last one is Earthquake. Move towards magma. and then do stuff. Otherwise, if at least 2 are on the board, gain 1 roads each other mage. Loses 1, gain trophy, or discards 1 solve quest, magma activates. So a lot of more of the same, repeated over and over, but you kind of have to do that when you're dealing with an AI control, just an automated boss, because if you have too many crazy different effects, it's going to make the game harder because they have more things that can go wrong with it, or big questions that will come up. And then 2 is because if they're repeated, you're kind of get the flow of what the boss does. And then it makes it easier for somebody else to pull, like when they have to do a boss activation, you're like, oh, it's doing this or this. This is doing 1 of 5 things, basically. Alright. So we have one last thing to look at for Black Rose War, and then we'll look at the other stuff. So Legendary Scenario Catastrophe. A Legendary Scenario is a special game which allows you to play events from the world of Black Rose War's Rebirth by applying a specific set of rules and using Legendary Scenario cards dedicated to it. In Catastrophe, mages will have to stop the Cyclops blacksmith Enka, who is infusing power ghosts into the golem magma, who wants to conquer the Black Rose. Apply the following steps during the regular game setup. Step 1 and 2, instead of what is indicated in the PowerPoint, arrange the rooms and cells showing in the image, listing a number of players. The green room adjacent to the black room must be the forge room. Before step 4, turn the forge, guardian, and treasure rooms as to show the side rebuilt side. So the forge, guardian, and treasure rooms are already rebuilt. Place your corresponding room activation tokens on them. Interesting. Once the step is complete, place the second moon on the 7th slot, the third moon on the 19th slot, and the Black Rose Cube on the 32 slot. So you're changing, instead of being on this, and this, you're changing where they are. Follow the steps of Enka's avatar. Place the Legendary Scenario Catastrophe of the relevant moon on top of each of the 3 event decks to be the first events to resolve. So you get 3 special ones for that. This replaces, as opposed to the original one, where you have to use the event deck for theirs. This just adds new cards to it that kind of more go with this. These are following rules applying the Legendary Scenario. Unquenchable Forge. The Forge room is activated. Its room activation token is not turned to its exhausted side. Magnetic Passages. A mage who exit a red room with move 1 effect of the physical action may instead give up that effect and place himself in another red room. Okay, cool. So you can basically freely move from red to red. Honorable mention. At the end of the game, the mage with the most trophies of the Black Rose gains 3 roses. If tied, no mage gains these roses. Yes, and here it's going to just show how everything should start off. So if you're playing 1 player, avatar board goes there. Your guy starts here, and that's where the rest of them go. And then 2 players, you start like that, so on and so forth. Alright, then we'll take a quick look at these avatar cards. You have 1 for each different one. They'll have the little thing on there. So yeah, this is why you have to have the core sets. I forgot. They use the avatar deck, event deck. So these just go on top of each one. So you activate something that immediately works with this avatar, or helps out. So Falk, we have Catastrophe. Place the Black Rose. Places killing stability in each red room. For the second phase, we have Overheating Catastrophe. Black Rose puts 2 damage to each mage, 1 space leaves from one red room. And Eruption. After mage resolves the effects on a red room, that mage gains 2. So yeah, nothing terribly crazy. But yeah, still pretty fun and interesting. Alright, then the last thing we have for this video is going to be a crossover stuff. So if you are not, don't care about Nova, Aetas, Renaissance, you can go ahead and leave the video. Thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the Black Rose War stuff. If you didn't check out part 1 and see the Forge deck and the Mage, I would recommend going back and doing that. Otherwise, yeah, stick around and we're going to look at what is in this box. Alright, so Nova, Aetas, Renaissance is another game, part of this game world by the creators. They have lots of crossover content. And this is just an extra scenario you can use some of these guys for. I do not currently own the game, so I don't know exactly how all these cards work, but we will definitely look over them. So if you are interested, you just see what they do. So what do we have here for components first? We are going to use a magma. So we're only using our big giant model there, nobody else. We have an activation token for him. We have 6 mission cards, 1 event card, event mission card, 4 reward cards, 18 magma action cards. Just going to explain how he works. And then how do we use this? This is Spangle as a new hunt mission to be included in any Nova Aetas Renaissance campaign of the core game or any expansion. If you decide to use Gaea in your campaign, add the event cards found in this box to the core game event deck. Oh, they messed up. It says Gaea. I think they mean magma. If magma hunt mission, if you decide to use, it says Gaea, but I think they just miswrote it. It should be for magma. Magma is a hunt mission and follows all the rules for this type of mission. So there are different missions. Some are hunt, some are something else. Bounty. Instead of waiting to draw event card weeds at any point in the main campaign, you can mark the title of the side mission on the active side mission slot and play it as you have drawn the card weeds. Large models. Some models occupy more than one single battlefield square. These models are called large models, occupy only a single square during movement. In other words, when moving a large model is considered a normal model and returns to occupying more squares the moment the movement ends. When the players need to determine moving a large square, they choose any of the squares occupied by the model, counted as a starting square. Normal size models can be used to simulate the movement of the large models. So it's covering. We actually have a tile here we can look at. So we have a tile here. What that's saying is it's normally going to cover 4 models. So if he's moving, I can choose to move him from this tile, or this tile. So if he's moving 1 space, I can choose this to move 1 here, or this one to move 1 here, this to move here, or this one to move there. So yeah, you can just, or if he was already starting over here, for example, you could pick either of these 2 tiles and you had to move them 2 spaces. It would be 1, 2. So yeah, pretty cool. Makes sense, I guess. When the large model makes movement, the player's place the model so the square occupied by the square includes where it finishes movement. The place is not possible because the required squares, usually 4, are not available. Players refer to the following rules. If there are models occupying a square, a large model pushes those models to adjacent available squares. If a scenic element is occupied where the large model that are available or occupied by the models, it is not possible and it ends its movement in a square of the large placement. So basically it can't move onto other things that it can't move. Large models and area of effects. A large model is considered to be a target of an attack with the attack trait at least 1 square it occupies within the area of attack. A large model is a target of an attack with the area trait. It suffers only the effect intended for the target, even if it occupies multiple squares. If the large model is not the target of an attacking area and occupies more than 1 square of the area, it suffers an additional effect only once. So that's kind of the thing. If your guy is sitting on the board and it's targeting these 4 spaces, and you have something that targets all 4 of those spaces, it takes damage for 1 square. As if it were a guy in one of those squares, it doesn't take 4 versions of that. Line of sight, large models always have a valid line of sight, all other models and vice versa. They can just see over everything. That's all there is basically for those extra little rules. So here's our tile. Little lava sword. Little activation token, double-sided. Then we have spoilers for anyone. I don't know how much of this is spoiler worthy, so we just want to make sure we say that in case you don't want to see what the spoilers are, because this is kind of a story campaign as well. So we have the Forge of Terror, F1. I'm not going to read through all of these. We're just going to kind of hold these up. This is just showing what's available. When you're using this, it says magma action cards do not shuffle or reveal this deck. 4 bushes, 2 trees, 2 stones. Use these tiles, the lava tile, and the cards F1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have F1 here. So I'm gonna guess that's cards F. This is F1. and maybe there's other Fs, or is it cards F1, 2, 3, 4? I'm not for sure how that all works. Heroes, Magma. Okay, so it says read your card back of card 1. So we have card number 1, card number 1. I'll hold these up. You can go ahead and pause it and read it if you want. I'm not going to read through all these, just because it's a lot to go through. And then we're going to look at the other side. So here's kind of a map layout. So cards, tiles 1 through 4, where all the different stuff goes. The hologram starts at 2:30. Cancer, Heroes, Leo, Magma. He's just setting up the timer counter for the game. I know a little bit about it. So we have card number 2. It's kind of more setup stuff. So it says, do this. Reveal card 3 if Magma is among the hunts available on the campaign sheet. You may decide to shuffle the deck of its action cards. And then reveal this card. If we flip it over, we have some other things. We have the mission. Hero's goal. Magma is defeated. Reveal card number 5. Heroes defeated. Reveal card number 4. Okay, so the last two are for win conditions. If at least 3 heroes are KO'd. Reveal card 4. If a card must be drawn from Magma's deck, if it's not possible, so reveal 4. Special lava tile. This tile uses the following rules. Enter a square on this tile with a movement costs 1 additional time. Any hero performs a movement action to enter a square of this tile must perform a test, I don't know what the symbol means, to obtain at least 3, otherwise they cannot perform that movement action. They still spend that time. A hero ends their activation on a square. Other tile suffers 1 unblockable damage and gains a burn token. Makes sense, you're walking over lava. I get it. Card number 3 is our information for Magma. Zoom out a little bit farther. So there's some different stats up there. I don't know what all of them mean again, but he has a 10, a 5, a 7, and 30 health. So he's a different defense, probably like maybe physical and range. He has some keywords: trample, immunity to poison, immunity to burn. He has movement of 1, it looks like, damage of 1, and a hand size of 8. Pierce, and he has a lightning bolt, he can burn people. Swiftness. When it's necessary to determine the order of an activation, his model is considered to have 8 speed. Or time. Magnetic aura. If a hero begins their activation adjacent to magma, the hero must perform 1 hand test. If the hero does not obtain at least 1, they suffer 1 unblockable damage. And there's a little eyeball on the bottom. First hero, this is probably who he's targeting. Hero with the most marked, or hero with the most damage. Alright, then we have the final spores. We have card number 4. Let me tell you what to do there. Stuff that happens if you lose the game, take damage. If it is not amongst the available hunts on the campaign, put the event card that was not sweep back in the event deck. If present, delete the Forge of Terror from the active missions. Perform a rest phase in the column where you play your next mission. And then we have 5 if you beat them, so basically the good stuff. Take treasure 1, 2, 3, 4 without revealing. Oh, that's treasure. That makes sense. We have little treasure cards. Count the number of unrevealed action cards in the magma deck. Based on this number, reveal the number of indicated cards. 1 to 5 action cards, reveal 1. 6 to 10, reveal 2. 11 plus, reveal 3. If the party gains the revealed mark on them and corresponding slot in the campaign sheet, put the others back in the game. Remove the event card. The hill is not. Delete the terror from Forge. Mark the magma on the available hunts section of the campaign sheet. Ignore us if magma is already among the hunts. Perform the rest phase. So you have 4 of them, but you only potentially get 3. But basically, the quicker you defeat him, the more treasure you get. That's kind of a cool mechanic. So before I get the treasure, let's look at some of these other cards here. We have the mission event card. It says the hill does not sleep. It looks like the big hill is transforming, perhaps concealing a dormant volcano that is awakening. Barloto, a mapping scout in the area, tells you its rumblings are becoming something far strange. He adds, the group may be well rewarded if you investigate the event. I go myself, but I'm too busy with maps to mark the F1 Forge terror side mission on the active sheet. Cool. And then now we have his hunt cards. So his hunt cards will have numbers up in the top corner, time. I'm not sure all these things mean, so I'm not going to read most of these effects. But have Unstoppable Construct. Magma places himself adjacent to the nearest hero, performs a following attack on them. So probably range wave, 1 damage. I don't know what the 8 does. It might be the test they have to do. Sword of Damocles. Magma places a lava tile under the target hero, then performs a following attack. Oh, so that's cool. So he drops that lava tile on the board. That's neat. Magnetic Terrain. All heroes who are in lava tiles suffer 2 unblockable damage. Shower of Lava Stones. Magma performs a following attack on the hero with the marked token on the standard target. Magma Vortex. Magma places itself inside the lava tile so that he's adjacent to as many heroes as possible, then performs a following attack on an adjacent hero. Unstoppable Construct. So some of these do repeat, so I'm just going to kind of skip through them. Sword of Damocles. Magnetic Terrain. Shower of Lava Stones. Magma Vortex. Unstoppable Construct. Sword of Damocles. Magnetic Terrain. Shower of Lava Stone. Magma Vortex. Lava Wave. Eruptions. Magma performs a following attack on heroes with the marked token or the standard target. And then his last one is Molecular Shock. Performs a following attack on heroes who is the same tile as he is. Cool. So you get an extra deck, you get to play with them. So it's kind of just, it's an extra little boss or monster we get to hunt down. So there's some extra content for the game. The last 4 cards we're going to look at are the treasure cards. So we're going to see what those are. So we get a Last Word weapon, dual-handed. If you obtain a critical instead of inflicting 1 additional damage to the target, inflict 1 unblockable damage to all models adjacent to it. That's kind of cool. We could get the Stinger's Knife, which is an accessory. Each time you inflict at least 1 damage to whatever that symbol means, you may draw a Regent card from your deck of your choice, reveal it, and mark the Regent on the campaign sheet. Oh, cool. So basically, you're like skin something and get a resource. The Obsidian Flower, Black Rose War. Makes sense. Your prayers gain +2 direction, move. And then the last one is Shards of Magma. Spend 2 time, place a burned token on one of your own weapons or a weapon of a hero adjacent to you. Neat. So you add fire to a weapon. That's kind of cool. Alright, that is what we are going to have for the Black Rose Wars Dreadforge, as well as the Nova Artis crossover cards. So, hope you guys are enjoying the video. Check out the other expansions and the core set if you haven't. And if I get I'll do a separate video with all the crossover stuff in one video as well. Hopefully by then I'll read through the rule books at least to learn how to play it and what all those things mean. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.